Have you ever trusted something you saw online only to realize later that it was actually a scam or a fake product? What if that same misinformation led to more serious consequences, influencing your decisions or even your future? In today's digital world, many teenagers tend to believe online content without questioning it. Due to their still developing judgment, they are more easily influenced and vulnerable to misinformation. As students who rely heavily on digital platforms for information, all of us are constantly exposed to news, opinions, and content online, making us vulnerable to misinformation without proper skills to evaluate it. Hello everyone, my name is XINYU, and today I would like to talk about why schools should make media literacy as a compulsory subject. While researching this topic, I examined recent academic studies on misinformation and digital literacy, which show how media literacy education significantly improves students' ability to evaluate information critically. That is why I strongly believe that schools should make media literacy a compulsory subject, because students are increasingly exposed to misinformation, often lack the critical thinking skills needed to evaluate online content and need protection from online risks. In this speech, I will first explain the problem of misinformation among students, then discuss how media literacy education can address this issue, and finally highlight the benefits of making media literacy a compulsory subject. To begin, let us first examine the growing problem of misinformation among students. Students today face serious challenges in identifying reliable information online due to the widespread presence of misinformation. According to Wendy Linden and her teams in 2022, exposure to misinformation can significantly affect people's ability to distinguish between true and false information. When students see the same false information again and again, they may start to believe it true, even when it is not. As a result, it becomes much harder for them to tell the difference between facts and misinformation. Furthermore, Wendy Linden and her teams also found that teenagers with less developed critical thinking skills are more vulnerable to misinformation and more likely to trust online content without questioning it. In addition, Safati and his teams in 2020 found that many individuals are exposed and may believe fake news, demonstrating how misinformation can influence understanding and judgment. When false information is accepted as fact, it can shape people's opinions, affect their decision-making, and influence their behavior. This is especially concerning for students because the information they consume every day can affect not only their academic performance, but also their attitudes, values, and future decisions. Without the ability to evaluate information carefully, students may become more vulnerable to manipulation and misinformation. Now that I've explained the problem of misinformation among students, let's look at how this issue can be addressed. In order to address this problem of misinformation, it is important for schools to introduce media literacy as a compulsory subject. According to Viaga and Bolt in 2022, media literacy strategies can help individuals identify misinformation and improve their evaluation of online content. Through media literacy education, students learn how to assess information critically, distinguish between credible and misleading content. These skills help students become more informed and responsible consumers of information. In addition, Wendy Linden and her teams in 2022 demonstrated that educational interventions can reduce the impact of misinformation by strengthening individuals' resistance to false information. When students learn how misinformation separates online, they are more likely to support false or misleading information before believing it or sharing it with others. More importantly, media literacy encourages students to question what they see online instead of accepting information at a face value. By developing these habits, students become more independent thinkers and are better prepared to make informed decisions in a rapidly changing digital world. Furthermore, Viaga and both suggested that schools can implement structured media literacy lessons, such as fact-checking activities, source evaluation, and critical analysis of digital content to reduce the effects of misinformation. With a clear solution in place, it is important to understand the benefits of making media literacy a compulsory subject. Making media literacy a compulsory subject provides significant benefits for both students and society. According to Ye and Mahiza in 2025, media and information literacy education enhance students' critical thinking skills and improve their ability to evaluate information in digital environments. Students who receive media literacy education become better at analyzing information and making informed decisions. Ye and Mahiza also emphasized that media literacy education promotes responsible digital behavior and contributes to more informed society. Students learn to engage with online content responsibly, communicate respectfully, and share information carefully. As a result, they become more responsible digital citizens who contribute positively to online communities. In addition, Rahim and Josh in 2025 found that structured media literacy programs can lead to 60% improvement in students' ability to identify fake news. This finding clearly demonstrates the effectiveness of media literacy education. With these benefits in mind, let's summarize the key lessons from the issue of misinformation among students and the importance of media literacy education. There is a clear problem of misinformation among students today. As we have discussed, many students struggle to identify reliable information online. But media literacy education can help them develop the critical thinking skills and needed to evaluate information effectively. Making media literacy a compulsory subject also brings significant benefits to both students and society. Therefore, school and education authorities should take immediate action to include media literacy as a compulsory subject in the curriculum. By doing so, students will be better equipped to think critically, evaluate information responsibly, and protect themselves from misinformation in the digital world. So, let me end with this thought. In a world where false information spreads so easily, the ability to think critical is no longer just an advantage. It is a necessity for every student. Thank you.